there is something that you are particularly good at, and yet your fear of exposing yourself to the world is stopping you in your tracks. If that sounds like you, this video today is for you. Now, if you don't know me, I go as Annie J, your well-being queen, your motivational warrior, encourager, boosting people into their destiny with gentle and loving force. What's holding you back? What is stopping you from taking up that path? Let me use myself as an example, because I used to be you. My first video that I filmed was in 2014. However, I did not start publishing content until January 2022. It took eight years, guys. Wow. Can you imagine how much further along I would be? Anyway, it's okay. It's not about looking back. I'm here now. Now, the reason why it took me so long is because I had issues with my confidence. Listen, when I was growing up, you couldn't even get a picture out of me. I didn't want to be in a photo. Definitely did not want to be in a video. I was a camera avoidant. I was conscious about how I looked. I was born with cleft lip and palate. That is the reason why I have this scar. It is what it is. But that stopped me for a long time from coming on camera. Now, guys, I know for a fact that the majority of you watching my videos do not have cleft lip and palate. In fact, you don't have any type of facial deformity, and yet you may still feel conscious about how you look, about how you might appear on camera. And I get that. If you do not have a deformity on your face, let me be your inspiration. I was very concerned about how people would view me, what people would say. And so that kept me in the shadows for a lot longer than I should have been. You may feel concerned about your appearance and how people may perceive you. Everyone's not gonna like you, okay? And so the sooner, anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So we're gonna start here. Our fear of being seen and what that kind of links to. I've just touched on my own example, but I do also believe that there is a fear of revealing yourself in your true authenticity. I feel like that is quite daunting for people. And why? Is because it requires a certain level of vulnerability. You have to be quite open. And it will cause you to feel bare. You will feel naked, like a lamb to the slaughter. I understand the hesitation. Like you're just picturing the trolls with their AK-47s ready to take you out as soon as you press publish. You're just picturing the worst. And I know that is the case because I did the same thing. And you know what? Even though I did have one or two funky comments where I was like, okay, well, that was uncalled for. But they were definitely not as many as I had dreamt up in my head. What I was expecting and the reality of what actually happened were on two very different scales. But listen, trolls are the type of people who will never put themselves on camera. I mean, they don't even have their own picture on their profile. And a lot of the time, their name is user 258766213. You understand what I'm saying? Like, these people make themselves untraceable. Now, whatever they're going through in their life is not anything to do with us. We have been called to deliver a message, to show a skill, to provide education, tutorials, whatever the case might be. What the trolls are going through is not any of our business. If they're just people that want to hate for no reason, personally, I don't get it. I would not respond. There's only been one occasion in the spirit of full transparency where somebody came to do a wahala on one of my videos and I said, hold tight. As much as I will smile, the majority of the time, I'm in very good spirits, optimistic, positive vibes. That's the momentum and aura, okay? And this person really tried to draw me out of that. Anyway, I responded in the way that I know how. And if you haven't seen that video, I will post the link here somewhere. They came to say a whole rubbish. The video was even talking about dating. And they're saying maybe you should get your residual deformity fixed before you to do with dating or whatever. Listen, why does my love life have to do with you? Secondly, yeah, let me just add this one in there. Small flex. I have never struggled to get man, okay? Cleft lip and palate may have knocked my confidence for a long time, but listen, once I decided I'm done being worried and concerned about this thing, let me just walk in my beauty. I never had the issue finding man, not gonna lie. Finding a good man, now that's another story that we're not going to go into today. Anyway, I did my rebuttal, and the reason why I even did that video, even though typically I do not respond, I normally just ignore people like that. It's like, if you don't like to look at me, don't come on my page, innit? But the reason why I created the rebuttal video is because I thought if anybody else musters energy, strength to come and attack my physicality and the way that I look, I'm just going to provide them the link to that video. That's it. I'm not spending any further time messing about with people who are unhappy with themselves and they want to come and project that on me. No, it's not that time. Anyway, clearly I've gone off track. So coming back to what I was saying, it's a fear of how we will be perceived. This is the thing. You have to be so comfortable with who you are that the opinions of other people, the impact that it has, becomes obsolete, because you know who you are, you know whose you are. You know, if you're a believer like me, I'm like, listen, the opinions I care about is God's and myself. Everybody else, that's nice. You know what I mean? You have to be so confident in wooka DJ. You have to be so confident in your own skin that you are unperturbed by the opinions of other people. Yes, like you are unconcerned, you are not moved by what they say. And so if you are able to get to that point, you will be able to confidently do your thing, whatever that thing might be, because now you're no longer being held back by an invisible boundary, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. And a lot of the time, the way you're picturing it in your head is not how it is going to play out in your reality. And so that's the reason why we cannot succumb to those sort of thoughts and prevent ourselves from walking in our purpose, in our destiny, and doing the things that we desire to do because of fear of other people. No, we have to embrace our authentic selves. Just be you. And you know what? Whatever it is that you've been putting off, it's the starting that matters. So you're going to have the doubt and the fears and things like that. But when you actually start, that is what will build your faith, your confidence, your level of skills in the thing that you're doing. The more you do it, the better you become. To become a pilot, you've got to train, practice. To ride a bike, you have to practice, get on the bike. Sometimes the confidence that we feel like we're lacking, the skills that we feel like we're lacking, they're going to come when we start actually doing the thing. When you start, you're probably not going to be that good if you're starting from ground zero. When I started my channel, it was a mess. It wasn't good. Just the editing, everything was off. But the more I just kept showing up, okay? You keep showing up, and as you keep showing up, you will keep getting better. Okay, anyway, I've spent a lot of time on that. Moving on. Let's talk about why fear is detrimental. The fear will cause us to put on a mask. Opposite to being our authentic selves, it will cause us to dim our light. The potential that we have, our ability to achieve more and to make serious strides in life, our fear will stop us in our tracks. It will cause us to blend in, to fall in line with everybody else, with everything else that's happening. Like we just become furniture with the rest of society. It will cheat us out of our potential for achieving greatness. It will derail our intended destiny. So we're meant to be on this path and we end up over here. No. But that's what fear will do. Who you're actually meant to be, okay, your authentic self, who God designed you to be, is God's plan for your life. Maximizing your potential. That is what we are meant to do. God's plan is always the best plan. And I believe that part of God's plan is for us to walk in our full potential. Everybody has the ability to be their best selves, to maximize on their state of being, their beingness. Everyone has the ability to push that as far as they can take it. Because ultimately, if we look at the beginning of scripture, when Adam and Eve were in the garden, God told them, be fruitful and multiply, have dominion over the earth, subdue it. We are built, designed to multiply and be fruitful. So if our lives are yielding the complete opposite to that, then that's how already you know you're not walking in the calling that God has designed for you to walk. Let's say, for example, you may not necessarily know what you are called to do on this earth. In developing yourself, you will discover the purpose for which you were created. By becoming who we're meant to become, I believe that we are then walking in God's plan. Lastly, if there's nothing else you remember from this video today, please remember these, because these are ways that I believe we can address our fears. First, what exactly is holding you back? If we can figure that out, like what is stopping us moving in this direction with this idea, with this plan, if we can figure that out, then we can deal with it, because we need a diagnosis before we can now provide the solution, isn't it? What's the hesitation? Where is that rooted from? Once we discover and we figure that out, let's deal with that situation from the root. Secondly, ego death is necessary, okay? Be dead unto the world and alive unto God. And why do I say that? Leading back to what I mentioned earlier, then you're not going to care about what people think, okay? You're just not going to be bothered. If you're concerned about what people, it's your ego. It's like, oh, you know, they might say, like, release yourself, which leads us onto our third point. Not everyone is going to like you, no matter how likable you are. You can be the most loving, amazing person in the world. There will be people in the world who also are like, they find you irritating. Your voice is a bugbear. Like, your smile, it irritates their soul. Listen, this is just how the world works, okay? I would consider myself a very likable person. On screen, in person, I'm actually kind of cool, you know, when I think about it. But even so, there are going to be tons of people that will not like me. And guess what? That's okay. I will survive. I'm good. Like, you know, it's life. Kill your ego, please. Remember, number 4, walking in your full authenticity is likely to lead you to the life that you want. Like I said not too long ago, when we develop ourselves and we start doing the things that we feel called to do, we're then going to walk in our purpose. If we're walking in our purpose is going to lead us to the destination that God desires for us. Hopefully you followed that. If you did it, just rewind. And then number 5, approach things from the perspective of your inner child. What do I mean by that? In Matthew 18 verses 3, Jesus said, I can't remember what he said, so I'm going to look it up because I've forgotten. In a nutshell, Jesus said, come unto me as little children. Think about kids. When we were kids, we didn't care about anything. The last thing we're thinking about is the risk, the potential damage that we can do. We see something, we want to do it, we will go for it. No thoughts given. This needs to be approached in the same manner. That's why I'm saying, think of it from the perspective of your inner child. Stop giving it so much adult attention. The overthinking, you're convincing yourself out of walking this walk. Don't do that. No, just do it. Stop giving it so much thought. Just do it. Ultimately, do not let your fear of being seen deprive the world of you.
It's a bright new day. You're here with your girl, Miss Annie J. I'm gonna give them what they want, cause I came to slay. And nothing's ever gonna take my joy away. I'm about that life.